Hello, family. How you doing? What's going on? So, wow, we are dealing with some very interesting things, aren't we? Interesting times, aren't they? Um, I find it very challenging in different ways, but I kind of get a kick out of having to adapt to unforeseen events, um, things that make me feel uncomfortable. I enjoy, how do I put it? I enjoy finding a strategy. For me, that's fun, right? But it doesn't mean that it's the kind of fun that you really enjoy, but it's more like finding the fun in a difficult situation, right? So, because I normally find it fun to strategize, to come up with a plan, a step by step plan that gets you somewhere, like I love this kind of practicality, like exactly what do you need to do this, do that, and the other. And also, how do you work around things, right? Because there's nothing perfect. So, there's these obstacles in the way. And how do I get from point A to point B with these obstacles? And how do I do it with less money, less time, and less stress? So I'm always thinking about those kinds of strategies, how one thing affects another. I like to look long term, not just right here, right now. Like chess moving, chess pieces. You every move has um, other steps that are either opened up for you or limited because of that one move. So everything has to work together. So anyway, I enjoy doing that. As many of you know, I left the comforts of home and the stability of having a substantial salary, substantial in my opinion, to put myself completely out of my comfort zone when I went to travel the world by myself. And, I knew that it was going to be difficult. I knew there was going to be challenges, right? And that was part of my fun because I was already scared to do what I was going to do. But in that fear, I knew that there was going to be many times to find ways to correct the fear. Because some fear is based on lies that you think something's going to happen. You're not sure. This lack of certainty can create a sense of fear. But you can correct it with the truth. So that's how I like to manage my fears is by correcting it with the truth. And sometimes I'm aggressive about it. It just depends on the circumstances. And that's where I come with punch fear in the face, because like, wait, you're getting in the way of my happiness or me meeting my dreams, or you're making me feel bad about myself. Fear, I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna take you down. And so, but anyways, it's a spiritual fight, right? And you have tools, you have different weapons you can use in your fight. And truth is the most powerful one. So you find ways to apply the truth to yourself in order to encourage yourself to do the things that you need to do and to do the things you want to do, that you desire to do. Because come on, all work and no play. Hey, no way. We can't live like that. Why work so hard? Why strive if you're not going to enjoy the fruit of your labor, you know? So, during a time like this where I'm severely restricted, which is like, obviously is not cool for me because I chose a life of freedom, which has its own obstacles, of course. A life of freedom uh, diminishes your stability. There's a lot of things that you can gain from a stable lifestyle. You can flourish under that lifestyle. You can, be close to family and friends, and so on and so. The avenue of freedom comes with a lot of uncertainty, and not always having access to the people you know and love. So, I chose a path of freedom, and it's been difficult. I've been really holding on tight to it, and it's been really difficult. I have to be honest. It's been like what a freaking challenge. And when I say a challenge, I really mean a multi-level challenge, and it continues to just repeat and come around in different forms. And so this virus situation um, even further decreases my freedom because of movement and even other kinds of opportunities, whether there be income or whatever. So here is like yet another challenge, right? And I'm thinking to myself, what are we gonna do about this? Right? So the first thing and the most important thing is that you have to calm yourself down. And this is me talking to me. But I'm hoping that maybe by me sharing what I do, that you may be encouraged to, um, I don't know, maybe understand the process, you know? So, like, if my story resonates with you, you could probably look at some of the steps I take and think, maybe I'll try that. The first thing I have to do for myself is, if I'm nervous, if I'm concerned, if full of anxiety, um, part of my brain says, worry. You should worry because that's a way that you're doing something about your feelings, right? So if you have these feelings of fear or whatever, but you try to deny them and don't work through them, it can really cause havoc deep down inside of you because you're really trying to suppress that, right? So what we normally do when we get these feelings of fear and anxiety, we start playing all these scenarios in our minds and we talk about it and we devour news about the topic, whatever it is, you know. So even if it's not something that's on the news, you look for that bit of information that continues to feed your fear. You know, maybe it's a text message or, you know, something you saw and you play that video over and over again. Like whatever it is that's pumping that fear and anxiety into you, you desire it more. It becomes like an obsessive thing, right? So, and that's really bad. For lack of eloquence in words, it's really counterproductive. Is really what it is. Um, so you should live in reality, and you should, you know, be cautious and know what's going on, and you know, not be taken by surprise. Um, but you can't allow the uncertainties of these things to eat you up, because what happens is you lose productivity, right? There's a lot of things that happen. So let me just touch on a couple points real quick. You lose productivity. You're spending time and energy, your mental and emotional energy, into a topic that gives you nothing in return. There is no closure. There is no greater understanding. Because you know, you can get the gist of a problem and you can dig a little deeper, do some more research, but that should end it right there. But no, we keep trying to go for more and talking about it and looking at it and scrolling through social media and just being like really triggered over and over again, being triggered by this thing, right? You're not helping the situation. Figure it out, see what's up, do your research, and put it to the side. You don't throw it away. It's still an ongoing problem. Put it to the side. You continue to devote time and energy into that with nothing in return. You're depleting your resources. Your resources, as in your mental energy, your mental capacity, right? How you feel in your heart and soul. You start to lack peace. It affects you in different ways. Whether you're an emotional eater, like me, or it makes you hyperventilate. Some people have, you know, start to get nervous and start hyperventilating. It could mess up your sleep. If it messes up your sleep, you're not being re-energized. Your body and your mind is in a weaker position, which leads me to the most important point, is that stress can harm you physically. It will weaken your immune system. So that's why that's the most important strategy piece in developing a strategy for dealing with major challenges, is to first get control of your emotional state. Okay? However you can do that, it's important. Whether you say positive affirmations or you talk to a friend who reminds you about how wonderful you are, right? Or you put on a comedy and you laugh, and you know the physical act of laughing is releasing stress, right? So these are things that I do. These are some of my tools, right? These are some of my little strategies to help me lower my stress if I feel that it's raising. If I find myself really fixated on a problem and I'm worried about it, I think to myself, this is not solving anything, right? It feels like it's productive, but it's not. It's actually counterproductive. It gets to a point. Here's a quick tidbit. Venting, like you have a problem, right? And you vent it to a friend. That's good. That's healthy. You process your thoughts, your feelings, you get it off your chest. However, if you keep venting, it becomes counterproductive. Okay? It actually starts to harm you because you're making yourself more sensitive to these triggers. Okay? It starts to take over your mind with, you know, fixation on this problem. You start to relive the pain over and over and over again every time you vent about it. So there's a limit. After that limit is when it becomes a problem. So yes, inform yourself. Yes, process your feelings. Oh, I'm upset. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Journal, talk to the Lord, talk to your friend. Fine, do that. But at a certain point, you realize if you keep doing that, you're going to relive that pain and the anxiety over and over again. And it makes people jumpy, right? What does jumpy mean? This is an instability right here. I'm jumpy, I'm nervous, I'm on edge. You don't want that. It doesn't serve you at all. Okay? So that's my very first tip on managing unforeseen circumstances, things you didn't expect to happen, things you didn't see coming. Um, First thing you have to do, calm down, put things in perspective, um, separate fear and anxiety from what truth is. Acknowledge that we feel this way, but separate it because you need to know what the truth is in order to wield this as your weapon against this fear when it comes out of nowhere. Because it will. You can be very logical about this whole thing, but then something else happens and fear starts pumping through your body again. That something could be your friend calling you who's freaking out, and you're like, oh shoot, maybe I should be getting scared again. Like, how am I really supposed to be responding here, right? But remember that your ultimate goal is to succeed. And so, in order to succeed, you need all of your faculties, all of your resources. Your resources are depleted when you allow the stress to overcome you, right? It weakens your immune system. It doesn't allow you to have clear thinking, and you need clear thinking for strategy. So, you have to put in self love routine, into this mix too. It's all about like keeping it together, keeping it good, happy, smooth. It's in this kind of smoothness and flexibility where you can rise up to the challenge. If you're like on edge and you're scared, what does that do to your mindset? You can't even think straight, right? And you're not in fighting shape. Okay? So keep yourself in fighting shape by lowering your stress and making sure that you get that good self-care routine in place. Not waiting till you're exhausted and, near the brink of like, like giving up. No, put it in as a regular thing. You eat on a regular basis. Well, you need to do self care on a regular basis, right? So that's all I wanted to say. Hope that you find something to make you happy, find something that makes you smile, that excites you. Put a goal in place, work on a project, anything that inspires you and makes you happy, feels good. It is productive for your overall success, right? It's absolutely necessary. All right. Bye.